Good morning.
muted.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Metro. We're 10 minutes north of downtown Denver, and we're glad you're here with us today. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
And this is Barb and Salo, our special.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
We're ready to rock out, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's get started with the evocation. So if you join me in closing your eyes. And together we recognize that power and that presence, that infinite intelligence that is everywhere, in, through, and as its creation, but not bound by its creation. No restrictions, no boundaries. It is the fullness and the allness of the universe, everywhere present. It is my life, it is Reverend Valerie's life, it is Salo and Barb's life, it is Greg and Sheila's life. It is everybody's life that is watching in today. And as we move into this time sharing divine ideas, I bless this service. I bless all those who are participating and all those who are watching. I know that the goodness of God is right where each person is, and that everything unfolds in its glory and its splendor. For this and so much more, I'm eternally grateful, so very grateful that I can now release these words into the law, into the love, and simply allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
So you ready to do a song?
Oh, yes, always.
Absolutely. I think there was a song that was relevant back in the late 60s, and it's just as relevant today.
I was around in the 60s.
Yeah.
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out the love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring out the love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out the love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Well, I got a hammer, and I got a bell, and I got a song to sing all over this land. It's the bell of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's the song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you, sisters.
Yay. Hey.
So wonderful to hear that. That's a great old song.
It is a good song.
It is.
Timely. Absolutely.
We should all be singing our songs and ringing our bells and thinking our
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we'll see you in a little bit. We're going to get started with the announcements.
Okay.
Okay, if you haven't already, yes, you can like us and check in on Facebook at Heintzelman Metro. And check out our website at heintzelmanmetro.org. So to contact us and add yourself to our email list so that you know what's going on. We talk about spiritual living circle and moving life and other things that some of the spiritual living comes out that I feel like everybody should have online somebody
You know, I hope it's really creative ideas you want to build up and
we're going to prayer request, so remember that you can put send us a prayer request on the website as well. And so just so you know, our Heintzelman Magazine discussion group is on Zoom, and it's on Fridays at
1, except for the last Friday. And the last Friday, we have a spiritual movie and discussion night instead. And so that's this Friday. So if you're interested in that, I think you can find the Zoom link on the website, but give us a holler and get on our list. All right, that's it.
That's it?
Oh, today's title is First Class Consciousness.
First class consciousness, yeah.
You've already met our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful musicians. And the reading from this week is called from It's All God by Walter Starkey. Okay, now I'm done.
Now you're going to
Now we're going to,
do the reading
am I going to do that? I
and
am.
affirmations.
Oh, affirmations. Well, I didn't print them out, so
Oh.
I hope they come up soon. Otherwise, we'll do them later.
Got the affirmation. There we
There
go.
we go. Gonna do it together?
No, you do it.
Okay. Every day, I have a deeper love for who I am. I rise above the illusion of lack and limitation. My body, soul, and spirit are aligned in harmonic balance. I choose my thoughts and words for a peaceful life. I trust that God guides my every step. An abundance of good reveals itself to me here and now. And so it is. Yay.
Those are good ones.
Those are good ones. And that we just need to remind you that our friend Stefan Anthony, living in Grand Junction, does our affirmations and he does a weekly affirmative prayer too. And you can find those things on our website. So
That's Grand Junction, Colorado. 'Cause I know there's other Grand Junctions in the
there
country.
are.
Yeah.
Oh,
there
they probably are. Okay. So, am I reading now?
Yep.
I'm reading now.
You're
Okay.
doing it.
The reading is from It's All God by Walter Starkey. If we analyze what the splitting of the atom meant in terms of our seeing ourselves as energy, we can better understand who we are and how it affected our daily lives. First of all, spirit is an energy. That is why it can change appearances. Second, if all we see with our eyes is spiritual, spirit appearing at the material level, then it follows that spirit and energy are the same word. Spirit and energy are synonymous. One is its subjective nature, spirit. The other is how it appears objectively as energy.
Mhm.
If you are spiritual, you are spiritual energy expressing itself. Every time you hear the word energy, think of it as the objectification of spirit, because that's what spirit is, divine energy. Though Deepak Chopra, Einstein, and others tell us that 99% or more of the things that we see are made up of empty space, consciousness, the rest is atoms in different configurations. As atoms make up everything that is, and as atoms are energy, then spirit, God, is omnipresent everywhere. There are no things or actions that do not represent the presence or movement of spirit energy. Consciousness is energy, and there is consciousness in every physical form. As Teilhard de Chardin said, even a rock has consciousness. It may be a denser or a slower rate of vibration or spirit than other ascending forms, but everything is consciousness expressing itself. That belief lays the groundwork for the realization that we are all of the same substance, that God consciousness is in as all of us. Sorry about that. That was hard to say. Although spirit is the highest dimension or level of existence, it is also the condition of all existence. As such, it does not of itself change or grow, though it appears in an infinite number of different configurations.
There you go.
And so it is.
So it's good to know that when I'm feeling like a rock, I still have consciousness, even though it's dense. Okay, we got some more music. Let's hear from Barb and Salo one more time.
Yay.
Hey. Here's another oldie but goodie.
Oh, it's echoing a little bit.
Are we echoing?
Oh, I don't think so now.
Okay. Here's another oldie but goodie. Made famous by Mama Cass Elliot. There's a new world coming, and it's just around the bend. There's a new world coming, this one's coming to an end. There's a new voice calling, you can hear it if you try, and it's growing stronger with each day that's passing by. There's a brand new morning, rising clear and sweet and free. There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me. There's a new world coming, the one we've had visions of, coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in love. There's a new world coming, and it's just around the bend. There's a new world coming, this one's coming to an end. There's a new voice calling, you can hear it if you try, and it's growing stronger with each day that's passing by. There's a brand new morning, rising clear and sweet and free. There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me. There's a new world coming, the one we've had visions of, coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in love. Coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in love.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's so good.
That's another message that we need to know.
That's right.
Keep us sane through this period of time, to know there's a new world coming and it's all ours.
Yeah.
Right, and it starts with that first class consciousness too.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
So here we are again, honey.
Here we are.
I want to talk a little bit about the first and only time I flew first class. There was a special feeling. I felt like I was special and I was luxurious and I was abundant and prosperous, and so very grateful to be sitting in a seat that had lots of room and I could just stretch out and feel great. And then I remembered all the times that I flew economy and what that felt like. It was just walking through the first class section. It's interesting how the energy can. You're waiting to get on the plane, and all of a sudden you're in first class, and you see all these people that are rich and got great places to sit, and you think, why couldn't I be there? Then you walk back into the plane, you get in your little tight seat, and the guy in the front of you puts his chair back in your face, and he's like, whoa, yeah, that's economy, all right.
Then it's more so now.
Yeah, and I don't know what that has to do with my talk, but maybe we'll figure out as I go along.
Well, let me tell you about the first time I went in first class.
Okay.
Because I used to have to fly to Denver for meetings, and so I was flying a lot at the time, and I got upgraded to first class. So the trip over was fine, but the trip back, we got up outside of Denver, and the pilot came on and said, you have to make an emergency landing. And so you need to be, we're thinking we're going to land just fine. But we're going to turn around and go back to Denver, and you need to be prepared to slide down the slide after we make that landing. The fire trucks are all going to be there. Well, after the meeting, I had gone shopping. And the store that I really like to shop in Denver was having a 75% off. So I had this huge bag of clothes with me. And I'm thinking, if we had to slide down that slide, I'm putting all these clothes on before I get on there. Anyway, that wasn't. I guess it was better being in first class going through that than not, but not fun.
So what does flying planes have to do with consciousness? Well, if you've ever experienced feeling less than, feeling like you're trapped in some situation, or feeling like you have to always give in, always please people, and feeling like there's no way of getting out of this condensed box you stuck yourself into, well, that's kind of like economy consciousness. Whereas opposed to first class consciousness, you know who you are. You've awakened to something greater than you could ever expected that moves through you, that you are the commander of your life, that you can change things through your awareness, through your consciousness, by changing your thinking, by believing in what you want to become or who you want to be or what it is you want to do in life. And that's all first class consciousness. And you feel special, not special in a way that you're better than somebody else, but special that you're a unique emanation of God, that you're made in its perfect likeness and image, and that no one can take that from you. You were there before you were born, and you'll be there after you leave this place, that you are magnificent. You are whole, complete, and perfect. And sometimes we fluctuate. Once we become aware, we may fluctuate and temporarily forget this, that you're always in first class consciousness, but you slip into economy. Kind of like you want to go on a trip and the day comes and you're ready to go, but you forgot to buy tickets. It's the same thing. We forget a little bit who we are by something that takes place, something throws you off center, but you never forget. Once you're awake, once you're aware, you can never forget it because it's always there through eternity. I want to share a little thing that I've learned to use throughout the years, not so much anymore because, I don't know, I guess I've grown. I don't need it that much anymore. But I call it observation mode, where you take something that you remember in your life and you remember it to embody growth, to recognize the growth that you've gone through. For instance, I can remember when I first went to Los Angeles to be a famous actor because I knew I would be. And I was down on my luck, didn't have much money, was struggling. And I decided that people were discovered in different places. What's that famous soda shop that someone, anyway, I felt, well, maybe if I go to a hotel, the Beverly Hills Hotel, and order something that I can afford, like a Danish and a cup of coffee, and it was something like $20 for the Danish and cup of coffee. But I sat there with a script and just really pretended like I was this famous star, and somebody come up to me and wanted my autograph or I was 20 years old, so give me a break what you're thinking right now. And to me, that was like this opportunity. Maybe somebody will discover me and give me a job because I'm so talented and they should know that. Well, anyway, when I left the place, I went right back into the economy thinking because I had to face the reality of who I was. Now, had I been using that as like a storyboard, as to use it as if that I was already there and feel the feeling of what it's like to be successful and to be a successful actor, that would have been different. But I was using it to imitate somebody else's life. And as Emerson says, insist on yourself, never imitate. And that's something that we need to remember. So the second story that in my growth that I compare to, and by this time I was taking classes at Agape, and I got a job, and it was for this show called Sledgehammer. And the director was a guy by the name of Bill Bixby. I don't know if you remember him, but he was in My Favorite Martian and The Incredible Hulk.
I remember that show too. So
I got this job, and it was a 5 and under job, which means that I could have 5 lines or under. There's extras who get no lines and get practically no pay. Then there's the next step up. I was in the Screen Actors Guild union, so they hired me, so I got 5 lines. And I took my little script home and had these 5 lines, and I was all ready to go to town. So I was feeling very special because I was doing what I loved in life. So comes the day that we're supposed to show up for my scenes. There were some silent scenes, other scenes that I did that had no lines. I drive up, and it was an outdoor location, and there's this trailer, and it's broken up in 3 different sections, and each section is a dressing room. And I walk up to mine. Mine was in the middle of the trailer, and it said Michael Torphy. And I thought, oh my God, I've arrived. Here I am. Look at my name up there in the dressing room. And I felt so special. Well, we did the scenes where I was just action. I was one of the thugs, and there were 2 other thugs that were extras that would hang at me, and one of them was shooting at somebody. And so we finally got to the scene where I got to do my lines, and there were 2 thugs and 2 women that in the script were referred to as bimbos. Can you think of that? I don't think they do that anymore.
I don't think so either.
But anyway, that's what was in the script. And Bill Bixby kind of took a liking to one of them and gave her some lines, quite a few lines, and she was an extra. And by him giving her those lines, she could join SAG. But by him giving those lines, I lost all my lines, and I was so mad. I went from first class consciousness into economy consciousness in a second. And even though I was working, making money, and that particular day actually went into overtime, and we got time and a half pay, I made quite a bit of money. I still had this thing that I was second class. And that stayed with me for a long time until I realized, thanks to the classes, that that's not who I am. And I compared it to back when I was trying to be a movie star by reading a script in Beverly Hills Hotel, and it didn't make any sense. What made sense was I did what I love to do. I got to be part of this TV show and do what I love to do and get paid for it. And how wonderful is that? How magnificent is that? So it's good to remember that we're co-creators, and we grow and we unfold and we expand, and we continue to do our work. We continue to study, we continue to read, and we continue to find the path that is ours to take, and to realize that always and forever there's a divine guidance system that's within you, within me, that you can always turn to. And you're never less than. You're always first class consciousness, because you're made in God's likeness and image, which means that you create as God creates, not on the same scale, but on the worldly scale. And everything in your life has been something that has brought you forward to where you are here now. All your mistakes, all your trials and tribulations, all the pains and hurt, everything that you've experienced in life was because of consciousness. And also, you have grown because of all those things that you've gone through. Mm-hmm. You are who you are now because of all your experiences, because your ups and downs, because of the people that hurt you, because of the people that praised you, because of the successes you had, the failures you've had. It's all made you who you are right here, right now. And that's a wonderful thing. Mm-hmm. And if you can hold that in your awareness, then you'll always be flying first class. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't remember where I was reading it, but I was just reading recently that all of those challenges that we have are for us. And I know a lot of times when we're in those challenges, it doesn't feel like they're for us, but there's some growth and some opportunity for us to recognize beyond the circumstance who we are. And I liken that to what's going on the planet right now. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's for us, but then you start thinking about the changes that are happening and how rapidly they're happening. And we can see that we had to have the challenge to recognize oh, we can step up and be better and bigger and more inclusive. And so um, what our consciousness is and what our awareness of ourself is we think it's this individual person that we are. And so it's what's in our mind, and that's not the truth of our being. That's a, well, as Reverend Michael said, we're consciousness before we arrive in this body, and we'll be consciousness when we leave this body. And so we sometimes get this body confused with who we really are. And so we have these experiences, some of them we would label good and some of them that we would label bad. And those experiences are about, we came here to learn things. We came here to grow. We came here to remember who we are. And so a lot of times, who we believe that we are has to do with things that happened when we were younger. And so we have these beliefs. Maybe they're beliefs like that we're not good enough, or maybe they're beliefs like, I can remember hearing this one, that children should be seen and not heard. Well, and if we stop and think about those things that impacted us when we were little, well, I can think of one that I think, well, I don't know. I was going to say I think I've always been a people pleaser, but maybe it started like right then. I'm sitting in the church pew. I'm 7 or 8 years old, and now my mother wasn't thinking that she was going to say something that I was going to hang on to for like the next 30, 40 years. She wasn't thinking that. She said, oh, not only do your brothers look up to you for everything you do to see what you do, but then their friends were sitting with us too. Well, their daughter looks up to you too to see what you're doing. And do you see that she's copying your every action? Every time you move your hands or your arm, she's doing that too. I took that on. And I believed then and for many, many years, and I think I still have it. I recognize it better now, but that I had to be perfect because there's all these people out there looking at me as an example. And so that example had to be perfect. Well, none of us are. None of us are. And so my point here is we take those things on. And sometimes those things are, what do I need to do to not get hit? Or what do I need to do to have food today? But the point is, our past programming and our past experiences have created beliefs in our lives that until we've recognized who we really are and that those were experiences and they're not who we are, we're still running on that old programming. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Yeah. So that programming created limits. It created boundaries. For me, it created pleasing others for a really long time. And so in addition to that, then we have those outside forces, like a lot of it's advertising, but there's other stuff too, that the world tells us that we have to work hard to succeed, and that we have to strive, and that it's hard, and that we have to do those hard things, and that, what else did they tell us? Life isn't easy.
Keep your nose to the grindstone.
Keep your nose to the grindstone.
That sounds painful.
Probably.
I don't think I want my nose to the grindstone.
And so, and with that comes separation. Oh, I'm all alone, and I have to do this all by myself, and on and on and on and on. And what I'm saying is, that's all past programming. That's stuff that once we begin to recognize that that's not who we are, that what we think, here's how it limits us. What we think about ourselves and how we think about ourselves immediately creates itself into form. And so if we're thinking that we're in economy class, if we're thinking we're not good enough, if we're thinking we have to be perfect, if we're still functioning on those, if I'm really quiet, maybe I won't get hit, on and on and on. There's also good things of that, you know. It's like, well, yes and no. So I also got told, no matter what report card I brought home, I got told, oh, this is good, but you're smarter than that. So it was another thing of, oh, well, you could do better. And I'm sure I could have done better, but then I'd say, so my brothers are getting C's. And I was told, well, you're capable of more. And so I was, you know, at the time I was thinking, well, why is all the pressure on me? And later I'm thinking, whoa, that was not a nice thing to say about my brothers because they're capable too. They're both really intelligent. They have their own skills and their own talents. One of my brothers is an amazing artist and the other one can build or fix anything. And then, so what I'm saying is a lot of who we believe we are has come from things that other people have told us and beliefs that are not really the truth of our being. They're not who we are. And so as we're still thinking from our brain and we're still acting from those past experiences, we're not discovering who we came here to be. We're not discovering who we really are. We're not discovering who we can be. And so things that we can do, we need to take the opportunity to listen to what we tell ourselves. And if we're telling ourselves we're not good enough, or if we're telling ourselves, one of the things I tell myself is, I have too much to do and I can't get everything done. Well, guess what my reality is? It's exactly what I tell myself. If I learn to tell myself, and I do that sometimes, but then I fall back on that old programming.
Yeah.
That is, everything that needs to get done today will get done today. And there's plenty of time. And if I don't get everything done today, there's still plenty of time. Or, so I'm inviting us to look into our thoughts and look into those old beliefs and look into those old things that people have said to us and weed out those thoughts that no longer serve us. Weed out those thoughts of I have to be perfect. Weed out that thought of I'm not good enough. Weed out that thought of there's not enough time. Weed out that thought of I have to do everything. On and on and on. On and on and on. And then we can look at our habits. So what habit do I have that is keeping me from being who I came here to be? One of mine is procrastinating. And I'm sure that comes from there's too much to do and I can't get it all done. And so then I compound it by procrastinating. So I'm creating that challenge so I can say, well, that was the truth. I didn't have enough time to get everything done. So what I'm inviting us to do is look at all those places and then begin to catch ourselves. So when I realize, oh, I have this really important thing to do today, and I didn't do that thing. I did a bunch of little things I really didn't need to get done. I can do a better job of recognizing what is it really that is important for me to do today and do that thing. And then what's really important for me to do next? What moves me toward my goal of who I came here to be? So if we understand how powerful we really are, how we're really thinking with God's mind, how we're creating what we're thinking in those thoughts, we can start thinking about, what do I want? What are my skills? What are my talents? What is it that really makes me happy? How do I do those things that really make me happy? And you really start focusing on that. Edwin Gaines talks about making lists. She has got a really good book about the 4 steps to prosperity, or it's a really good book anyway. And she talks about making a list of exactly the things that you want to manifest. And making sure it's not what other people think you should do. And making sure you don't have such a long list you really can't handle it. So, go ahead and make your list of all the things that you would really like to do and be, and then pick a few. And then imagine yourself actually doing that. That's what I was thinking when you said that. And then you said it, about sitting in that restaurant with the script. If we use those examples, just like Reverend Michael said, to imagine ourselves there so that we can see it and we can feel it and we can be it, then we've actually done the first step of bringing it forth into our lives and into our consciousness. And so what we think is what we're creating. And so what I'm really saying is just pay attention to what it is you're thinking and where it is your mind is going and what is it that you want. I read a really good article on Facebook the other day by Claire Emily Williamson, and she was talking about just understanding. Well, maybe I'll just read that last thing that she wrote that I was so impressed with. Sit in the beautiful unknowing that true belief that everything you want is already coming to you, enabled by the unlimited, inspired action you take every single day. So I think it's been a little challenging lately because of things that we would normally be doing, like going out to work and going out shopping and going out to dinner and visiting friends, and we're not doing those things. We're at home. And I'm very fortunate. We're able to work from home. We're able to do what we do here from home. We've been able to... She
does a lot. I do a little.
We've been able to have our services online. Thank you, Anthony Pritchard and Greg and Sheila Fawcett and everybody who participates, all of our wonderful, magnificent musicians. And we've been able to have our classes on Zoom. We've been able to have our spiritual living circle on Zoom. We've been able to watch movies on Zoom and have discussion groups after. And I think we all miss having that time together. And so it's good and very good. And we're in a place where the world is changing and we're changing and we're seeing it change in really positive ways. And this is an opportunity for us to take this time and really focus on what is it I want to create? What do I really want to be doing with my life? Am I doing the things that are meaningful to me? Am I doing the things that make my heart sing? Am I doing the things that give me energy as opposed to taking it away? I can think about years and years when I was working in banking, and I was just super stressed all of the time. And I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing. And I was working, I think the longest I worked during that time was 90 hours in a week, but never 40. And I look back on that time and think that was just a job. That wasn't my life's work. That wasn't who I came here to be. So if there's a way for us to begin to pay attention to, I got rescued from that job. I got laid off. I was like, and part of me was going, oh, that's sad. And most of it was going, yippee.
I want to make a point.
Okay.
There's three directions that we can go. There's what Reverend Valerie just said. This is what I should be doing. And then there's the second, this is what I want. And then there's a third, this is what my soul's being pulled towards.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, to give an example using my life, I thought I should be doing everything but what was moving towards I want. And once I moved in towards what I want, it started pulling me forward. And I started doing actions that I wanted to be an actor. So I, excuse me. So I did headshots. I sent out things to producers. I auditioned. I did all these things. And I got jobs here and there. But something, that was my heart's desire at the moment. But something pulled me into a disaster, which brought me to this teaching and the community I was in. And all of a sudden, I started taking classes. And I was taking classes, acting classes too. I constantly did that. And I was doing both at the same time. And I felt like I was in between two different lives. And then I moved on, became a practitioner. And while I was a practitioner, I was called to be a minister. And then I became a minister. And the love for acting was pulling at me like, don't give up on this. This is what you love. And it's like, well, I love this too. And I was pulled back and forth. And I hung on to my union card, SAG and Equity and AFTRA for years, paying all the duties, but not pursuing it. And then one day, sitting in my office, I thought, here's another example how I have to hold on to something to feel special when I'm already special doing this work as a minister, which was my ultimate calling. And every step I took, the have tos, the supposed tos, the wants, and every step of the way brought me to doing this. And who knows, this may not be the last thing that I'm being pulled towards, but it was all about my path, and it's all about your path.
Right.
It's sacred, holy, and divine.
Yes.
And just allow it to happen. Take those steps to move towards your desire, but don't hang on to them. Don't get attached to them, because what your desire is, you believe is pulling you towards, may be something completely different. So stay open, stay alive, stay awake, stay aware, and stay in that first class consciousness. Yes.
Beautiful. Yes.
All right.
Oh.
Why don't you pray?
All right. So just close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Recognize that God is breathing our breath. God is beating our hearts. God is the thinker of our thoughts. We are that God consciousness all of the time. I am. Reverend Michael is. Each person present here is. Everyone everywhere. Everything everywhere is one with that divine intelligence. There is no thing that's outside of God. Each one of us is made of the same stuff that the stars and the planets are made from. We are divine. We are whole, perfect, and complete all of the time. That divine intelligence is absolute love. It is always loving and creating and accepting and just cradling us in that love. And as we just release the worries and release the fears and just settle into this moment, this divine moment, this one right here, we recognize that truth, that there is no thing outside of our consciousness. And yes, we're having experiences, and those experiences are here to create our growth. And we're more than that. We are divine beings, one with Source, one with each other, one with all that is. And as Reverend Michael said, we're that consciousness before we step into this body. We're that consciousness when we step out of this body. Right where each one of us is, God is. There is no other thing. And so we are light and love and peace and truth and harmony and abundance and prosperity and love and peace and acceptance and awareness. And in absolute gratitude, I pass this word to Reverend Michael.
So I invite you to send out waves of energy, light energy from the center of your being, send it out across the planet, knowing that it touches many people, knowing that it uplifts many people, knowing it is the power that is the source of all change, the change that creates a world that works for everyone. We bless everybody that's been hurt, anybody's in pain, anybody that's experienced lack or limitation. We surround them with light and love. We surround this planet for all those families who have lost a loved one to the COVID. We surround light and love to all those frontline people that are taking care and working hard, long hours. We send out light and love to all those that are marching, to the mothers that are taking the front line, to the veterans who are supporting the mothers, to all those courageous people standing up and saying, this is what we want for our world.
Yes.
This is what's going to be.
Yes.
We join them in consciousness,
Yes.
knowing that in God, all things are possible.
Yes.
And for this, I give thanks. Eternally grateful. Grateful for my life, grateful for Reverend Valerie's life, grateful for every life that is listening and watching today, grateful for the life of the planet, grateful for life, period, eternal life. But more than words can say, I'm grateful to know that which we have spoken this day is already manifesting in our experiences. So with the heart full of gratitude and thanksgiving, I now release it into the law, into the love, and together we say, and so it is.
Ashe and amen. Woohoo. Woohoo. That's a good one.
All right. We're ready for some more music to the wonderful, fabulous Salo and
Well, it's just going to be me right now. And so in order to have that first class consciousness, sometimes we have to reset and just take a moment of silence and meditation. So I'm just going to hopefully provide that for everyone today to kind of reset, get in that space, and then open up their hearts for some consciousness gifting after this. So.
Oh, we just love you so much.
Oh, we love you. So I'm just going to play a little bit of this wonderful Rav drum from Russia. It's a combination between a hand pan and a tongue drum. And Andre made this special for me a couple years ago. So I'm going to share it with you guys today.
nice. Look forward to it.
was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was like an exclamation point to the service.
It was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're going to do a little business and we'll get back to your last song.
Okay. So it's our conscious gifting time. And you can give on cslnorthmetro.org. There's several ways on there that you can do, and PayPal's one of them. And you can also, if you like to text you give YUGIVE to 888-364-GIVE. You can also use Venmo, and the QR code is right up there in the corner. So if you put your phone right on it and you have Venmo, it just takes you right to our site. Or it's Venmo at CSL North Metro. And so I'm just so grateful for this time together, and grateful for all of the people who are watching and who are donating and who are making this possible. And so we're just going to put all of those online gifts and the ones that people drop off and right in this basket and pray over them.
We're going to bless them right now. So shine your light towards the screen and just imagine these gifts touching many people, and repeat after me. Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you, Life.
Thank you, Life.
We send these gifts out into the world.
We send these gifts out into the world
With complete gratitude.
with complete gratitude,
With complete uplifting of the Spirit.
with complete uplifting of the Spirit,
Knowing it touches many folks.
knowing it touches many folks,
Creates a world that works for everybody.
creating a world that works for everyone,
And touches our soul to the depths of our being.
and touches our soul to the depths of our being.
For this we give thanks.
For this we give thanks,
And let it be.
and let it be.
And so it
And
is.
so it is. Amen.
Amen. Well, we have our last song of the day, and we're looking forward to it. Take it away, Barb and Salo.
All right. Since you're hopefully we'll start with an upbeat song to end this broadcast for sure. I hope you're having an awesome summer, and what better way to do it than
With a summer song that you might have remembered from Chad and Jeremy.
Chad and Jenny.
Trees swaying on a summer breeze, showing off their silver leaves as we walk by. Soft kisses on a summer day, laughing all our cares away, just you and I. Sweet, sweet warmth of summer nights, gazing at the distant lights in the starry sky. They say that all good things must end someday. Our leaves must fall, but don't you know that it hurts me so to say goodbye to you? Wish you didn't have to go. No, 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 no. And when the rain beats against my window pane, I'll think of summer days again and dream of you. They say that all good things must end someday. Our rain must fall, but don't you know that it hurts me so to say goodbye to you? Wish you didn't have to go. No, 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 no. And when the rain
Yay.
Yay.
Sending out love to Pat and Jeremy wherever they are.
Yeah. I haven't heard those names in a while.
Yeah,
That
long
was
time.
Yep.
great. Thank you so much.
So we'll close
thank
out
you.
with benediction and giving so much gratitude.
Wait.
Well,
Join us on Zoom right after the service and share your aha moments. The Zoom meeting is right there on the comments, so you can just click right there and get it. And if you go to our website and send us your email, we'll send you links to everything that's happening and all the things that are going on. So, okay, now.
okay, so just close your eyes and let's all give thanks for this wonderful time we shared together.
Yes.
And for the wonderful week that's before us, knowing that there's plenty for everybody in the world, and that we move through this next week with gratitude and inspiration and just blessing every soul that comes before us, whether it's in our thoughts, on the phone, online, or in person. Just so very grateful for life, for my life, for your life, for all life. I give thanks, knowing it is done, simply letting it be, and so it
And
is.
so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Bye, everybody.
Blessings,
Bye.
everyone. Join us on Zoom. Bye.
Bye.
Can.
I think we should.
Yeah.
So let me